Alright, let's go. I was not expecting to do this as early as turn 7, turn 8. But here we are. Believe me when I tell you that Kazakusan Druid has gone through some giant changes. Gaby has reached rank 1 legend with what is debatably the most popular Druid deck in the format right now. Not only has Gaby been playing this deck to amazing success, but XiaoT has also had a great success with this deck. And I think a lot of other people were trying to figure out this archetype, but this might be the perfect 30 card list, and it runs Doomsayer. So Doomsayer in a Druid deck is automatically a good sign that we got something spicy in the works here. But what exactly is this deck trying to accomplish? There are lots of different ways that this deck was originally thought out, but the big key part of this deck is that people think that Oracle Valoon and Naga Giants is an absolutely deadly combo that we need to utilize, to the point where every single list that I've seen has only run 1 Oracle, because if you run 2, it's a little bit too inconsistent. The big part about this card is the fact that you can play both of your Giants for 0 mana, and that is one gigantic push that needs to be answered. And if your opponent does answer it, well, you have plenty of other ways of being able to threaten the board. So let me go ahead and walk you guys through what is probably the best Druid deck in the Voyage to the Sunken City right now, Giants Druid. The goal of this deck is fairly simple. You really just want to ramp as quickly as possible in order to have these ridiculous combo turns enabled. So what am I talking about? I'm talking about pretty much just going for your simple mulligan of like the Dozer, Kelp Keeper. This is a really good card in order to give you like a little bit of a pushback if you do have like the perfect curve, which is, in this case, if you have a Wrath and a Wild Growth playable, you can actually play this card as a 4/4 with Rush as early as turn 3. So if you're fighting an aggro deck, you have ways of being able to fight back a little bit. But usually, the key mulligan with this deck is definitely to have the Jerry Rig Carpenter. The Wild Growth is especially important because ramp is very, very hard to come by these days. And there are even some games where I've debated on keeping Nourish in my hand if I have a really good hand to supplement it, which is pretty much just Wild Growth. So that way you can route Wild Growth into Nourish, and then suddenly you're already at 7 mana, so your Miracle Growths become very, very doable. One thing that I will suggest with this deck is to really think about your turns, because this deck is it does have a lot of the turns that kind of like play itself when you have like the gigantic Naga turns, for example. But one other thing to keep in mind is when do you have to go all in for your Kazakusan, because this card is a very legitimate way of being able to deal with the decks such as Control Warrior, which have a lot of removal that can actually deal with your 8/8s and your gigantic Miracle Growth turns. You still have Scale, you still have Raid Boss Onyxia in order to have those late game trading tools in order to set up these amazing combos. But like, there's just so much synergy and so much there's just so much synergy with this deck that's possible, that it's kind of blowing my mind the more that I play this deck. There's lots of ways of being able to get multiple Giants thanks to your Moonlight Guidances. There's ways of gaining armor because Earthen Scales is a card. Like, every single one of these cards feels like it fits perfectly in this deck, and that's not even getting into one of the new cards, Aquatic Form, which just blends in this deck perfectly in almost in every single Druid deck, because as soon as you reach like 7 mana, it's almost impossible for Aquatic Form not to get you something that's useful. So this card is just like, look at the bottom of your deck, get a free resource, and if it happens to be useful, then make use of it. So this deck just has a lot of variability, a lot of different ways of being played, but most of all, it's very, very fun. I only have a few games under my belt with this deck, but I am currently 5-2, not only in my testing, but also in the clips that I have gathered for this video. I have played 3 games on Ranked in order to give you guys a little bit of perspective of how this deck is to be played, how sometimes your game plan can change. And keep in mind, for YouTube subscribers, this is something exclusive for you guys. I did not stream this on Twitch. So yeah, I'm going to start doing more of these kind of like impromptu deck videos if I ever find a deck that's worth exploring, because I want to share it with you guys. Because who knows, maybe this is the meta breaker of the expansion, and maybe this is the very first deck that gets nerfed. But until then, I want you guys to have some fun with Druid that isn't just playing Kazakusan as quickly as possible. And if you guys enjoy this very exclusive content, feel free to like this video and subscribe to the YouTube channel in order to be notified about any of the future uploads that we happen to come out with. The deck code is down below in case any of you guys want to give this spicy deck a whirl, because trust me, it's a lot of fun. We also have a Patreon in case you guys want to support the channel with extra perks and bonuses that are available. And as always, if you want to catch these clips live, we stream at twitch.tv/ClarkHellScream. I hope you guys enjoy proving how giant your deck actually is. And we'll see you for the next video. This actually might be one of the best decks currently playable right now, so I just had to get a few of these clips for YouTube. I'm currently only making this for YouTube right now, guys, so if you're currently subscribed to the channel, this was not available on Twitch. I'm currently recording this as of 2:50 right now in the morning. because I do believe that this deck is absolutely busted. This deck actually might be one of the best decks available right now in the Voyage to the Sunken City because of its consistency. So let's see if we can't drum up some of that consistency right now. Because not only does this deck have the 1-mana 4/4, but the real power of the deck comes from the Oracle of Elune Naga Giant combos. You also have ways of being able to win games just straight up with token trades with Raid Boss Onyxia. You have a gigantic turns that are possible with Miracle Growth. But this deck is somewhat slow starting, especially if you're going up against probably a combo Warlock is what I'm assuming this is. So let's see what we can't find, because right now we're just trying to go for our ramp turns. This is kind of awkward without a Wild Growth, but at least our opponent is playing very, very slow. And speaking of playing slow, you will notice we have a Doomsayer in the deck. Is this bait? I don't know. But the fact that we're playing Doomsayers and Druid is kind of hilarious. Really just waiting to see what my opponent is playing, because I'm assuming this is Rod TK. Or some kind of, like, Phylactery Warlock. But the most common Warlock deck that I have been seeing has not been combo, it's actually been Warlock. You know, Murloc Warlock. Okay, this is actually not going to be terrible, because we have Nourish going at next turn, so both these guys will definitely awaken now. I think we Nourish for mana, but we really don't have that many cards, so drawing is not that bad of an option. Hello? Huh. Okay, well now I definitely know that we're doing this. I'm actually fine with taking the additional damage here, so that way I can keep one of these dudes alive and draw. We hit Guff, so I don't regret my decision. Which means next turn we could probably play Guff into, let's see. If we Guff into Hero Power, that puts us at 10 mana going into the next turn. So that seems pretty pog. It doesn't look like he's going to be getting the Tamsin value yet. So is it worth playing Doomsayer? What else could he do here? I really don't know what else is in this deck, so I don't think I'm going to play Doomsayer because it seems a little bit bad. But this is where we start to go for like the massive turn. Oh wow, what? I have scaled the Onyxia. So this really isn't that much of a detriment. Is a little bit annoying, but I mean, do I ever ramp for Nourish mana here? Hold on a minute. If I do that, I can put myself right at 8. So I can go for like a massive ramp turn to make this even more possible. So yeah, let's do this. Plus this at 8. Plus that's at 7. Trades into this. Needs an AoE now. He's probably just gonna play the 6 mana one. Maybe he plays Tamsin here and gets some value, and then suddenly I lose my whelps, but if I'm going for a big Miracle Growth, then maybe this turn isn't that bad, but he has to have the Tamsin here. It's the only card that, like, really, really punishes me. Okay, there it is. I could have assumed that he had this, to be honest, but taking the mana ramp is just good in order to try and set up for this Miracle Growth turn. Because now this is where I can like just win the game outright if I hit Oracle and the Giants. In worst case scenario, I can double Miracle Growth for a gigantic board. Although I guess I do have this to worry about too. Oh really? Another Doomsayer. This hits Wrath. Okay, hold on. What else can I do in order to actually knock this out? Wrath and Onyxia are really the only ways to deal with this. So I guess we're going to do this, and then we're just going to play Scale in order to knock this out. Next turn I could probably go for like the big turn, but right now it's just this. I guess technically I summoned one less whelp than needed, but at the same time I wanted to make this as big as possible. Okay. So now we have the board again. If I need whelps, I still have Onyxia. But I really want to go for like this really big giant turn. Okay. This deck wouldn't play curses and play phylactery combo, right? Like I just have to worry about the curses suddenly killing me, which means that I need a really big hand. I need a really big hand, so that way he can't just like load these into my deck. Okay, so I think we're just gonna play this just because it works. And then we can play Miracle Growth, give ourselves a 10-10 that we could even make into a larger minion. We hit the Oracle Balloon, so I'm gonna try and hit the Giants now. Okay, perfect. Absolutely perfect. This is exactly what I wanted to showcase. This is exactly what I wanted to showcase. Look at this board. This is a board. This is a Hearthstone board. Oh yeah. Giants Druid is a real deck. And Oracle Balloon is no longer used in aggro decks. How can you clear this? No, don't. I said no, don't. That's why I spread out these discounts, but holy crap. It actually does have the double curse. Really? Even, oh my god. No way. Oh my god, these curses are getting out of hand, my guy. Okay, I was not supposed to lose the board that quickly, but this is why Kazakusan is a backup. So boom into aquatic form, see what I find. Do I just throw out the raid boss? This actually might be a raid boss turn just because dragon. I can draw 3. Either that or I could Jerry Carpenter as well. Hold on a minute. I think I'm going to go ahead and just... Yeah, I'm going to draw 3. Play Onyxia. Is it wrong to play this onto an empty board, though? That's one thing I'm wondering. I'm actually wondering if I should just go all in for Kazakusan. That low-key just might be better. Plus, I need to keep a healthy hand size, right? So we'll kill this. We have the Kazakusan now. Okay. Because now when I play Kazakusan, I'll be able to draw immediately into the deck. I don't really care about the Jerry Carpenter, but I wanted to keep myself at 9 cards so he couldn't add a bunch of curses to my hand. That's going to be one thing I really need to do, is not, like, set up a potential of dying to, like, this curse combo or whatever. This is actually, like, a really, like, interesting game that we're playing here. There's a lot of back and forths. Like, that Abyssal Wave turn was insane. Wait. What are we going for? I can still just win with Kazakusan treasures, even after all of this board that I've made. All of these boards that I've made have still not been good enough. Okay. All right, let's see what we can find. Wand of Disintegration, or it's probably Bubba, because Bubba gives me board. But I mean, the rest of these are kind of bad. A Noyo Horn? Oh, all the damage? Okay, it's gotta be Embers. Boombox, probably. Vampiric Fan seems a little bit unnecessary. Puzzle Box? I guess Wand is pretty decent here. This almost summons enough minions in order to kill a 5/5. So I guess we'll draw again. Could always just deal 3 to it, and that works. Yeah, that's actually a way to do this. I am a little scared of having a treasure burnt, but now that I have one of the embers in hand, this just works out. But I hope you guys are starting to realize why this deck is really, really good. It's just because it has so many options. It has AoEs, it has plenty of removal, it has damage out the wazoo, and it has 8/8s for days. How many 8/8s have I played this game? I don't know. A lot, though. Definitely a lot of 8/8s. Full-blown evil twice is not going to be good enough. Needs more clear of some kind, but like a like a drain soul or something. Bash. Whoa. That was unexpected, but he's got no board, and if he's got no board, then he's got no answers. Oh well, there you go. There's a win with the best deck in Hearthstone right now. Let's see if we can't get another off stream. And so you guys understand just how much I'm winning with this deck. Currently in playtesting, I have a 100%. I am 3-0 with this deck. So this is me figuring out this deck for the very first time, and me telling you that the deck actually might be tier 1. Trust me, this deck might be insane, guys. Try it. So I have no idea what to expect with a priest, so I'm just gonna go for like maximum ramp, I think. I don't think I keep aquatic form, but I will just go ahead and wild growth as soon as possible if I can find it. Okay, this is a pretty good hand. Pretty good hand if I do say. Oh my god, is this the nuts? It might be the nuts, guys. As my stream plays in the background, might be a good time to remind you guys about twitch.tv/HELLSCREAM for all your streaming needs on Twitch. Okay, well, this is about as good as it gets in terms of like ramp. God damn. We didn't hit Nourish, but low key against Priest. If this is the scam deck that I think it is, I'm actually gonna have to need as early of a scale as possible. Aquatic form. All right, don't double 12/12 me, dude. Don't you dare double 12/12 me. If he plays Switcheroo, I'm gonna cry. This deck should not be working at this elo. Okay, it's not Switcheroo. It's actual Pig, which is a deck I think is probably like really, really good right now. Okay, we got a Giant. I think we're gonna wait one more turn before we play this. We hit a Doomsayer. Might be good for the future, but for now we just focus on gaining mana. Gift of the Naru. Guess I did technically give him that value. Another Giant. Okay, so here, I think we do this, because there is no way that we can't find a card that we can pull. Nourish? I feel like it just has to be Nourish, just because Ramp is too good. Or do I draw instead here? I could actually fill up my hand. I think that's important. Alright. Yeah, I need to play as many cards as possible, and that requires having cards in hand. I did not hit another Miracle Growth, so I'm really glad that I went for this card draw tool here versus just going for ramp. Wait, what? What? I guess I'm doing another game, but people are scared of this deck. So again, rank 1 deck, guys. Might be worth picking up. All right, so against Rogue, I have to be able to deny almost all of their board. I'm very tempted to keep a scale here because like removal is very, very key. But I like the idea of going more for the overall game plan, which is playing for curve, playing for ramp, and this hand actually does that perfectly. I would rather go for this than like keep like scales or something, and the chance of like look at this. This is so much better. This is so much better, and even if I hit like a Nourish out of the Jerry Rig, it's just gonna be disgustingly consistent. Although I think I really want to hit the Wrath out of this if this is Pirates, but it's not Pirates, huh? Coin Wild Growth maybe? Nah, we just do this. We need to play this card anyway. There's no point in skipping the turn. This into Nourish, into Coin, Miracle Growth seems like a perfect way to commit these next 3 turns. We'll get a 4/4 in the process if he does happen to do anything sketchy, which is something like that. I can kill that minion. Wait, what? Why are we shadow stepping in? Okay, that was weird. I don't think that was necessary, but sure. But sure, if that's really what you want to do, I guess I'll let you do it. What, you think I'm gonna play scale on tempo and you're gonna catch me? Wait, what's going on here? Hero powered twice by turn 4 as a rogue? That doesn't seem very cash money for you. Do I want to reveal the minion? Ripping is way more important than revealing the minion. So we definitely do this. If I play this, I go to 8 cards, then 9. So, yeah. I'm kind of on the fence. Because I need to draw a 1-drop exactly in order to make this not clunk up my hand with Miracle Growth next turn. So I think instead I'm just going to Hero Power and go for the guaranteed value. Because I don't want my hand to clunk up. I guess I could have done like a coin play into like a 2. Actually, yeah, I guess I should have played the Jerry Rig there. Technically no reason not to not play it. Yeah, I thought a little bit too much on that, but still, we can go for like a massive Miracle Growth here. Maybe we hit an Earthen Scales. Sap doesn't exist right now, and he's not playing Quest. Why are we just Hero Powering? Is there something I'm not familiar with that would make this worth it? Alright, well, here we go. Earthen Scales back in the core set, by the way. I think I'm actually gonna go ahead and do it again. Yeah, I'm gonna do it again. It sets up the other Miracle Growth. Plus, I just gained how much life? 23? Wait, is he gonna... For a second, I thought he was gonna, like, Plague Scientist me or something. I don't know if Plague Scientist is in the rotation, though. Oh my... What? Oh, he actually did it. Oh, he actually did it. Holy shit. This deck actually does that. I am at a loss for words. I was not expecting that. Okay, in that case, our turn changes a little bit here. We play Scale. We trade, and we probably commit a Doomsayer just to completely take over the board here. Yeah, I think we commit a Doomsayer. Now, if he does absolutely nothing, we can Miracle Growth, get the board back, set up for the Giant's turn. That will absolutely lock him. Oh, wait, is this Test Rogue? This is Test Rogue. I think that's the only reason why you would have, like, this kind of removal is because you actually need it if you're, like, a quote-unquote control deck. Committing all these minions, though. Maybe... Wait, okay, so he's played Pirates... Technically, but maybe this isn't Pirate Rogue just because he runs only the Pufferfist. Okay, well, we're definitely doing this again. Big taunt me, dude. Oh my god, and I could play the 8/8s. Alright, let's go. I was not expecting to do this as early as turn 7, turn 8. But here we are. Massive stats always equal good in Hearthstone. What? Okay, thank God the 2/4 isn't the one that survived. Really, though? Random Brawl? That's alright. That's a card for sure. So is that. No 0-drops, and I could kill it without a problem. I think I'm just going to go ahead and just play the raid boss here, because I want to just try and kill him in the next turn. Alright, do you have another Pufferfist? Even if you do, this Raid Box Inicia is still alive. Yeah, that's what I thought. This is how most games are supposed to go. Keyword supposed to go. But hopefully those 3 games will give you an example of the reach of this deck, the potential of it, and I gotta say this is probably one of the most fun decks out there. Even though I keep saying that about every other deck, I was not expecting this deck in order to be really, really good. I played a similar version of it, but it ran like Flipper Fins, so this is probably the best way to play this deck. Okay, so against Warrior, if this is a Quest Warrior, I actually don't think we're in that bad of a position. However, I think it's very dependent that we have the key ramp turns, like Wild Growth. So I'm going to go ahead and put all of my power into getting Wild Growth and my Mulligan, which apparently doesn't happen as consistently as I want. But we're not actually fighting a Pirate Warrior, so that's kind of good news for us. This is probably going to end very, very similarly, where we go for like a Kazakusan Win Con. But right now, we'll just focus on getting to 20 mana. Finding that guff. Finding the good things to do. Aquatic... Okay, so this is a kind of a tricky... of a tricky situation. We can play Moonlit Guidance to try and dictate our next move. I could Aquatic Form to try and dictate the next draw, see what's at the bottom of the deck. I think I want to wait on the Aquatic Form. I'm just going to play Moonlit Guidance. Honestly, hitting another Nourish is not bad. So I will go ahead and take that because I could low-key just ramp into that next turn. Which, honestly, isn't really that bad of an idea. I don't think I do anything else, though, if I just Nourish, though. Turn 3 Nourish is OP. Yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and do it because why else would I wait? Against this kind of Warrior deck, I need the initiation. Next turn, I might go for Aquatic Form. Maybe the Juff is at the bottom of the deck, and I could really use a Juff right now. Is there any 6 that makes a difference? No. So I guess I can go ahead and play this and play Aquatic Form. There's the Juff! Oh, man. Okay, so 6 mana actually did make a difference. Because now I'm not going to be... this is a mistake because of the Guff. Literally only because of Guff, because I missed a ramp, but it's fine. I'm fighting Control Warrior. I have plenty of time in order to build up my ramp. I could actually draw some cards now. Do I want to ramp instead and go for like a Moonlit Guidance into like Miracle Growth turn? Oh, now we're just going to Growth. We're just going to grow it up, dude. Is it greedy to do that? Actually... Is it greedy to go for that? I feel like it's a bit greedy. I have plenty of mana cheat, right? Because I have the hero power. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and draw 3 cards. Maybe this is incorrect. Maybe this is incorrect. I also do reveal my minion. I don't really care that much about that. But now that I have another Nourish in hand, I can actually go for like a really cheap Giant's turn. Do I unload onto the board, though, is the real question. He hasn't played any removal. And I really just want to like play like Miracle Growth for some value. Okay, still no Miracle Growth, but I could find it. However, if I end up playing it this turn with the Moonlit Guidance, I will overdraw a card. Because I will get the other Miracle Growth. So I think what we're going to do is just go for like another ramp turn. I could even like set up a Doomsayer just to get it out of hand. Okay, so we gain a Mana Crystal. I damn near want to gain more mana out of this. The Jerry Carpenters are slowly becoming more useless, but that's fine. I could go ahead and play a Wrath for card draw. I think I don't mind that, actually. There's a Jerry Carpenter in order to help me draw the rest, the last Wrath, which is absolutely fine that we're using it here. Okay. So now I could maybe go for like an Oracle into like a Naga turn. But again, like we're fighting a Control Warrior, so like the removal is going to be there. But we don't care about the removal. We just need to make it to the Kazakusan. Maybe he doesn't have what he needs in order to deal with this. There's the Miracle Growth. I need to play 1 card in order to make this playable. So I'm going to play the Oracle because for sure we're playing the Naga this turn. I think I'm just going to make a really large board here. The other reason I kind of don't want to go for it, though, is because I could set this up later. But at the same time, I think this is just going to be the best time to do this. I really can't afford, like, to wait too long, you know? Really good options, because now I can do Giants and 4/4s. So at least something will survive if he ends up brawling this. Could have gotten some value out of the Earthen Scales, but not really that necessary right now. Could save this for later. I would rather have the 4/4s maybe survive. Yep, he does have the Brawl for 2 mana, no less. From the depths. Got it from the bottom. Alright, 8/8 survived. Very nice. Oh, never mind. I guess I could have Earth and Scaled it. Guess we go with the Miracle Growth here. It's really awkward, but I still can go for a decent removal turn. So I guess we gain mana. We summon a 10/10. These awaken, but I'm probably going to end up playing this in order to kill this. I think I'm going to wait on the 8/8 right now. Because I don't want to like play into like Rokara in like Shield Shatter or something. I could play Earthen Scales, but I think I'm going to play it on this just for maximum armor. Do this. We're very close to the bottom of our deck now. We'll make this trade. We draw a card. All the minions have been discovered now. Let's see. Could I play the 8? I could play the 8/8 here. Yeah, I'm going to play the 8/8 here. It also makes room for Miracle Growth, which I could actually play with Kazakusan next turn. Oh my god. This deck is broken, dude. Maybe I play one more game with it just to showcase really how broken this is, because, like, Kazakusan has a lot of ways that he can win the game, but there are, you know, possibilities that he fails. Still, though, this is still, like, such an impressive board. Even Control Warrior is really starting to struggle. He's only played, like, what, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cards? Oh my god. How many cards have I played? A lot. I've definitely played more stats and minions. What? I had 24 attack on the field. Bro, you need to have, like, Provoke into Shield Slam. Provoke into Shield Slam would kill the 12/12 and the 4/4. I think those are, like, I think that's literally it. Even though you're playing Kazakusan, dude, you only have, like, how much mana? It's not 18. You have 9 mana. I have 24 damage. Dude, I could just literally win with Kazakusan next turn. Okay, he has a Shield Slam, which kills the 8/8, but he does not have Provoke. Okay, well, let's figure out what's in our deck now. So that I can draw 3 and hopefully win the game with, like, a Book of the Dead or something. Speak of the devil. Book of the Dead, Pure Cold, Ancient Reflections. I think Canoptic Jars because we have Raid of we have Scale the Onyxia, and then we have Gnomish Army Knife. Gnomish Army Knife. Sorry, I can't talk right now. I'm too excited. Let's see. What do we draw first? I think we can draw with the Hero Power because no matter what we draw, it's pretty much playable. We hit. Oh my god, we hit Gnomish Army Knife. That's just lethal, right? 24. Okay, so I need a bit more. I need a bit more. Let's see, could I just win right here? I don't think I can. So next turn, we should just go for the win then. So this turn, we just go for damage. Do we ever kill the 8/8? I think we do, just to deny, like, his own Gnomish Army Knife. Maybe this is not the smartest play. Okay. Alright, this will work out. Part of me kind of regrets not doming the rest of the damage, but look at all the resources that we have. I'm making a meta decision because I just don't want to, like, dish all this damage just for him to double trade into here and then fully restock. At least now, if he wants to get value. Okay, well, he got it. I still have another Canoptic Jars, though, that I could easily just find the lethal with. Yeah, I think waiting on the Miracle Growth was definitely the right play. Oh! Buddy, that's good. Okay, that's real good, but I still have a board here, so let's be honest. Do I just still win? I probably just still win. $12 damage on the field, only need 8. That's a Pure Cold away. No! No! He actually had it! Oh my god! actually had it? Okay, so I can... Yeah, so I can raid boss into a Miracle Growth. And I can actually fit Canoptic Jars on top of this if I get lucky. I didn't hit the only spell that mattered. Okay, so I didn't hit the Canoptic Jars, so that's a little unfortunate. But I still can just do this. And hopefully this won't backfire somehow. Actually, how can this backfire? I don't know how this can backfire. Like, he has all of this board he's got to deal with. I guess he could play like a Brawl or something. But like, I'm gonna be able to create multiple legendaries. And if I get anything good out of them, I can Ancient Reflections. Okay, I gave him armor from this. That was kind of a bad play, I guess. But we're gonna have to give him armor regardless in order for us to have a massive board. He freezes minions. Wow. Alright, well, Canoptic Jars, please and thank you. I said Canoptic Jars, please and thank you. Oh my god, no, not like this, man. Oh my god, no, not like this. Holy crap, I'm like really scared right now. Okay, so I Doomsayer, I think? Because when else am I going to be able to play this card? I honestly could ancient... Chat, don't make me do this. Don't make me do this. Oh my... I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. Oh my god, I'm going to do it. I'm doing it. I'm going to make sure this board isn't going anywhere. This is actually a pretty funny screenshot. Maybe this isn't correct. Maybe this isn't correct, but this is still really funny. I just really need that Canoptic Jars, dude. Like, I need the minions. Let's see, do you have your own Book of the Dead? That would work really well here. It would make my Ancient Reflections usage look really, really bad. But I'm not going to be able to really draw through my deck anymore. But if I don't hit the Canoptic Jars next turn, I have to use the Hero Power. At least I have scale into double jars. I think that's the only thing that's really going to carry me forward. But Doomsayer into Ancient Reflections actually worked. Look at that. Look at that Doom. Oh, that's obnoxious. Speaking of obnoxious, Canoptic Jars were the bottom card. Alright, we'll hold on to the Book of the Dead in case we need it. But now if he has more removal, he's just gonna summon me a massive board. And I get to do it again, and he's probably... Don't have Wand, actually. Oh my god, Wand would, like, completely counter me. Would actually, like, win the game right now. Alright, cool. Why are we trading? Is he just accepting his loss? This is just 100% a concede play. Didn't even trade into one of the big minions. Oh, he has Book of the Dead! No! No! No, he has Book of the Dead. Okay, I still have to do this again. But oh my god, he's got Book of the Dead. I was thinking about for a second like making a copy of this, but that just wouldn't have worked out very well. I think I have to save this for like maybe like oh god. I have to save this for like in case a minion survives, but he knows what I have. I think we definitely just have to Book of the Dead his minion though. I hope this wasn't a mistake. Really hope this wasn't a mistake. Dude, it's really down to the wire on this one, though. Oh my god, I don't know if I win yet. If he's just armoring and passing, that's not going to be good enough. Okay, cool. He needs to have wand. That's like the only way. Wait a minute, we just win, right? Oh wait, the Ocean Army Knife is almost lethal. Oh, it's almost lethal. Okay, all right. Last turn, he has to. No, no, no. Oh no. Oh my god. No. No. I refuse to believe. I refuse to believe that I'm dead. No, he's gonna rag shot me, dude. No way. That was a mistake. You gave me a minion. You just gave me a minion. And you know that I have Ancient Reflections left. This was a mistake. If he reveals that minion, it's like actually a mistake. I think I can still win this. If he reveals that minion. Oh my god, he revealed the minion. He's revealing the minion. If he's got rag shot, I'm dead. We know Book of Dead, we know Wand, we know Knife, we know Krabby, we don't know the other one. Ooh. You fool! You fool! Do not reveal that. He revealed it! What? What are you doing? What are you doing? You gave me a chance! He gave me a chance! What are you doing? He let this happen! He let this happen! Oh wait, that's right, he had the other one. Oh, damn it! No! I thought I could win. Oh man. Well, that's gonna be our first loss, isn't it? Dude, this was like actually like a really close game though. If I wasn't forced to draw as much as I did, I actually could have won this game. But he hit the wand. The wand was literally the only treasure that mattered. Oh my god, we would have won this in every other situation, guys. Oh my god. I completely forgot about the wand for a second. Okay. Well, if I want to throw this in there just to show how insane this deck can go toe-to-toe, like, I might throw this in. But that was actually really annoying that we lost that game.